All right, so apparently we are going live tonight. Maybe I'll go without the glasses. I don't know. Um, I doubt there's going to be a whole lot of people popping in. You're just going to take those off unless the chat starts popping off, which I don't really see happening, um, based on the fact that I've got like 300 of you subscribed, and I'm pretty sure some of you are Chinese and Russian bots. But that's okay. It helps my numbers, so I'm not complaining too much. But we are live tonight. Um, it's been a little while since I've put up a video. I know that. 12 days about since I put up a full content video, and like a week since I put up a short. But forgive me for that. Real life gets in the way of things sometimes. And what we're getting in the way of this time around, or what's getting in the way this time around, is the delights of being a homeowner. I have a septic system, and we're on a pump system. If you don't know any of that, good for you. Consider yourself quite lucky. But we are in the mountains. I'm on a pump system, which means we are pumping uphill to a drain field. And when the pump goes out, the whole world falls apart, especially when you live in a small town in the middle of nowhere and the nearest people who can actually pop in and fix your problem are booked a week or two out or on vacation or can't actually fix your problem. So we dealt with that a couple times. Um, Also, we've learned a few things about this house since we've bought it. For example, the septic tank is like 3 feet underground, which means somebody has to dig it up. And in a perfect world, you'd pull a backhoe in and just kind of dig that. However, apparently our internet line, our wired internet line, runs right over the top of it. So they have to hand dig it, and nobody will hand dig it, which means I have to hand dig it. So I thought about making videos of that, but do you guys really want to see me out in my front yard in 30-degree weather hand digging a 3 foot deep hole? It's not the most riveting stuff. However, I did learn how to replace a septic pump. Um, Most companies that I had talked to wanted a lot of money for that. And Due to the magic that is YouTube, yeah, I learned how to do it by watching 2 or 3 videos. Shout out to those guys. And yeah, replaced the septic pump and all sort of dug holes and all sorts of fun stuff that comes with owning a home in the middle of nowhere. So that's the exciting, riveting stuff I'm going to hit you with. 3 whole minutes of talking about sewage. Are you happy? Is that some interesting stuff? Again, forgive me. Uh, Last time I did a live chat, I think it was Christmas Eve. I don't pop in live. I don't really have much of a following yet, so most of you that see this are going to see this on the replay, and some of you will never see this. Most of you will probably never see this, and that's fine too. But if I don't go live every once and again, I feel that sometimes maybe I get a little robotic in my videos. If you've seen my hiking videos, there's not much to talk about while I'm walking, and if I'm going uphill, I'm not going to really regale you with my amazing personality while I'm struggling for breath. I'm not the leanest of dudes. I'm not as nimble as I used to be. So there's that. But tonight's live stream is featuring this right here. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to be read backwards for you or forward, but this is Rye Whiskey from Tennessee Hills Distillery, who also is where I got this hat from. These are little whiskey barrels and whatnot in the flag. You've probably seen this hat before. I'm a hat guy. I love wearing them, and to cover this mostly. If my mom watches, mom, if you're watching this, I just want you to know I love you, but I am just growing this out. This is my one last hurrah, as I mentioned on Christmas in my last live chat. I am growing my hair out as one last hurrah. There's some of it's trying to run away. So I figure I'm going to have a little fun with it and then eventually just admit defeat to the gods of the follicle world and I don't know, just buzz cut it high and tight, the military thing or whatever. My wife won't let me take a razor to it. I love her enough to respect that. We have a rule in this household. I'm not allowed to completely shave my head, and she's not allowed to completely shave her head. And as long as we abide by that, that's pretty much all we've got. And if you're married or in a long-term relationship, you know how you've got a couple of rules that you have to live by to keep the peace, and that's one of them. My head will never be completely shaved, which is probably good because I'm not the thinnest dude in the world. I'd like to think that with a shaved head, I'd look like The Rock or Jason Statham or something, but I got a feeling I'm looking more like Uncle Fester. So let's keep a little bit going on here. But anyway, uh, whenever I pop in for live chat, I'm going to be sharing something with you. Again, the name of the channel is Moonshine and Marshmallows. I'm not eating marshmallows, but I should be drinking something. And this is a rye whiskey made 2 towns over from me in Jonesboro, Tennessee. Fantastic stuff. They get a cute little distillery too. It's an old salt house right by the train tracks. The building is like 200 years old or something, maybe like 150 or 100. I don't know. History is not my strong suit, especially when I'm on 1 or 2 of these. That's just rye whiskey and ice, the way God intended. I'm pretty sure. Anyway, but I'm excited because they're building a huge facility to make a lot more good stuff for us. I think they're putting that up in Bristol, Tennessee. So that's going to be nice. But anyway, the real reason I wanted to pop into this chat right now is because of news that came out kind of today. And forgive me as I fidget to make myself look incredibly comfortable. What was that stupid commercial? All right, I'm on a tangent. So the news that came out today was very disappointing. If you are a YouTuber or follow YouTubers who do outdoor activities, this is going to affect you. A few years back, one of the national parks, I believe it was the Smokies, issued a fine to a YouTuber for basically violating their policy regarding making videos. As it turns out, you're not supposed to be making videos in the national parks without a permit if you are possibly going to make any money off of them. They call it commercial videography, commercial videos, whatever. And they consider YouTubers and TikTok and Instagram, pretty much content creators on the internet, to be commercial enterprises, to be, a business, because there are some people that make money off of YouTube. I am not yet one of them. If you see this and you want to hit like the subscribe button and watch every video I've ever posted from start to finish, I could be, and I'd greatly appreciate that. But right now, nope, I'm not making money off of this. If anything, it's just eating up my time and my money, but I'm having fun with it. So that's what matters. But so content creators are now forbidden from making content in any national park in the United States without a permit. The case, it was a First Amendment case. It went to a jury. The jury said, no, the national parks can't do that. They're violating your First Amendment. And the appeal just went in favor of the national parks back in October. And new rules have been pretty much laid out the end of January, beginning of February, for all of us to follow. So this means if you've ever watched a YouTuber do a hike through any national park, whether it's the Smoky Mountains, which are like 2 hours away from me, whether it's any other national park, the Everglades down in Florida, Yellowstone, is that right? That's a national park, right? Not just a TV show. Any of the national parks, any YouTuber who is not getting a permit can be fined and or actually charged with a crime. This is a federal law. So YouTubers who make content to bring to you can basically face fines and or possibly criminal cases for making videos of content. Now, I get it. If it was like National Geographic rolling into a national park and they wanted to bring in 4 trucks and boom microphones and lighting rigs and a crew of 35 people and a chopper, I get requiring a permit for that and a fee and all that, because that makes sense. That has an impact in the area. Or if you wanted to go film something in an area that may be a sensitive area, like a new growth forest or an some I don't know, some wildlife habilitation area in a park that was normally closed. I get needing a permit for that. That's to me that's reasonable. Um, but the national parks are public property. It belongs to every single one of us. Anybody who's paid taxes, and even those of you who don't pay taxes, the parks belong to you and me and us. And I have a real problem with the idea of getting fined for literally making a 10-minute video on my phone. That seems absolutely insane. It's not hurting anyone. It's not hurting anything. We're not doing daring, we're not a stunt show here. I'm not jumping off cliffs or anything like that. We're not risking ourselves doing stupid stuff. It's just a quick video. Hook a GoPro to my backpack strap and just go and turn a 3-hour hike into a 15-minute video. That's not allowed anymore. You cannot do that without a permit. Now, they say just go get a permit. That information isn't quite available yet as they're kind of ironing out the details. But some friends of the channel, Yankee in the South over there in Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville area, did a video on this right from the national park, the Smoky Mountains. And they say that they've looked into it and that a permit alone costs $100. Most YouTubers will never make $100 on a video. I've certainly not done it. I've made nothing. Zero is my highest take, and I'm okay with that. I'm not doing this for income. I have a full-time job and then some. But they said that it's $100 for the permit. And if you look on the National Park Service website, there is some structure to it. It looks like if your permit is approved for 0 to 2 filmmakers with equipment no more than 2 cameras and a tripod, it's free. But you still have to pay for the permit application. And then for larger crews, the price starts at $150 for 3 or more people and then goes up. But a YouTuber is now supposed to spend $100 on a permit to take videos of a hike in a national park, or just drive up to Newfound Gap in the Smoky Mountains and take a picture, a couple of videos of the parking lot. If you look on my channel, and I'd love it if you do, you'll see that I've got a video, and it's a rather basic video. My wife and I went to Daisy Town in the Smoky Mountain National Park not very long ago. It was, I think, the fall. And I put together just a quick video of Daisy Town and a little cemetery right there. And there's not a whole lot of me in it, just a little bit. And then it's mostly just like some instrumental music and some video of, a 15-second clip of an old cabin, a 15-second clip of a cemetery. It's not much to it. That would cost me $100 to get a permit to make that video today, which is insane. The parks are falling apart as far as I'm concerned. I don't know who's responsible for this. And I get, like I said, keeping the big guys out, or keeping, you don't want like the TikTokers doing their crazy backflip stunts into dangerous water or something. Or, if you're making a video that requires a rescue or something, that's just nuts. But let's look at all these people who do the Appalachian Trail through hikes and document it. Like they've started doing their hikes. We're watching a few of them. Maybe I'll do another video in the next couple days and tell you who we're watching. But now you're telling me that these through hikers who are documenting a 2,200-mile journey from Georgia to Maine on foot have to get a permit to film while they're walking through the Smoky Mountains? Like, that's insane. Who does that? Who needs to do that? These guys are out there just like making a personal journal of their lives that they share with us. And we're supposed to pop in and expect that they can go through the Smoky Mountains without having to pay the government. And I am in Tennessee, and I got American flags and whiskey here. So you probably know where I stand on things like paying the government. But I'm also a business owner and happily cut those checks to the government because it sure beats going to jail. But it's just insane. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks and or months and maybe years to see if this goes through yet more appeals and whatnot. I really have a problem with the federal government saying we can't take video in our public parks because of what? There's no justification for it. I mean, I'm sure I could play devil's advocate and say, I have done that already. I played devil's advocate. I said, the TikTokers doing their TikTok challenges. Okay, I get it. But if they do something illegal, they've got video of them doing it. They're not hard to find. You arrest them then. You don't go make them ask for permission or beg for permission or pay for permission. I'm already paying for these national parks. If you pay taxes, you're paying for these national parks. They are our parks. They do not belong to the federal government. They belong to the people of this country. And it's absolutely insane to see them put such a stupid, pedantic rule in place. It's like, how do you even do that? Do you think they hired somebody who's going to sit there on YouTube 8 hours a day from their federal office? They're making $120,000 and their job is to watch YouTube and see who's gone into a national park without a permit. Like, how do you enforce this? The whole thing is stupid. And forgive me for ranting, but I don't know what else to say about it. This is a rant. Maybe I'll update my description or my title to include that, because this is just the world we live in. For some upstart like me, some hungry little YouTuber looking for content, thinking, oh, well, I'm going to go do chimney tops and I'm going to film it and put it out there for the masses. And I do that, and now I've got a fine from the federal government. So that's going to be interesting. Here's another thing. Before we moved to Tennessee, we lived in Florida. And we came up here October of 2020. Part of the reason we ended up coming up here and moving to Tennessee was because we fell in love with the Smoky Mountain National Park and the area, Bryson City, Sevierville, Gatlinburg, things like that. And what we loved about that was not just the access to the parks, but we discovered all the YouTubers of the Smoky Mountains. And when we found the YouTubers, they showed us things we would have never known existed. You can't, the Smoky Mountain National Park is huge. And I'm using that as the example here because it's the park closest to us. But this is every national park. But the Smoky Mountain National Park is humongous. And I'm sorry, but the guidebooks will tell you the 10 coolest things to do. And there's 1,000 other cool things to do that you'll never even read about, if not for these YouTubers sharing it with us. If not for folks like Yankee in the South and Fridays Forever, Smoky Mountain Family. These guys have shared so much information about the area and about the campgrounds and the hiking trails and the off the beaten path places and the things to see and do there. And they can't do that anymore. And of course, it's not like they're getting a notification. It's not like they're getting a letter in the mail from the government saying, hey, just a heads up. No, they're going to find out when they go and do something, and then they get a fine for it or whatever. So hopefully this information kind of spreads quickly, because, I'm not going to use profanity here on my YouTube page. I use it enough in real life, and I don't know who's watching, and I don't want to offend anybody or upset anybody, but that is BS. You can make those letters mean whatever you want, but I think you know what they mean to me. So you're basically taking away the knowledge and the experience of people that live in the area that want to share it with you. You are taking away access to people who are disabled and may never in person see these areas and only see this through YouTube. I know people who say things like, I wish I could get up there and hike that, but I'll never be able to do that. But it's fun seeing this, or it's fun seeing that. Not so much for me, because most of my hikes that I've done so far are stuff that anybody can do. I've not exactly gone deep into the bush yet. That'll be coming when the weather warms up and We'll have plenty of videos for that. However, I'm also concerned because the National Park Service is a little bit vague on their descriptions of what we can and cannot do. I know we cannot film in a national park without a permit anymore. Question: do national monuments count as national parks? Such as if I were to go to Washington, D.C., can I film the Washington Monument? Can I film in the National Mall? Can I film the Lincoln Memorial without a permit? Based on my understanding of what I've read, not if I'm in park area and the National Mall, I believe, and somebody will tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's a national park. Um, you've got hikers right now going through the Florida Trail. Um, I'll name drop YouTubers again. Kelly Hayes hikes going through the Florida Trail literally as we speak right now. And when she goes through the Everglades and she's filming it or going to film it or might film it, is she again breaking park law? Probably, but it's not, again, it's not like anybody reaches out and tells us this. We've got to figure it out. And just like everything else, things can change daily. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks, months, and years to see where this thing goes. Ultimately, I kind of think it is a violation of First Amendment rights. I think the original case and the original decision was spot on. The parks belong to us. It's no different. If you're not breaking a law and all you're doing is filming a public place, you should have a right to do that without a permit, without paying a fee to do so, without paying a fine if you do it. Um, I think the justice system got this one wrong on the appeal, and we'll see if there's an appeal for the appeal. I don't know how that works. My mom thought I'd be a lawyer. I did not become a lawyer. So, oops. But I do like law though. It's fascinating, and I am following this case to see what happens and where it goes, um, because it is kind of interesting to me in that regard. Um, it's just upsetting. As you know, if you've watched my channel before, we've done a lot of stuff on the Appalachian Trail. That is a national scenic trail, according to the National Park Service. Now, is a national scenic trail considered a national park? Does it fall under the umbrella of a national park? Does this ruling also apply to national scenic trails? Don't know. It's Friday night right now. It's too late to get a hold of the National Park Service. I'll have to wait until Monday to find out. We live in an area that is bordered by national forest. I can leave my house and in 20 minutes in almost any direction, I can be in the Cherokee National Forest. Is a national forest, does that fall under the same rules as a national park? If I take a hike in a national forest, am I breaking the law? If I take a hike on a national scenic trail, am I breaking the law? Who would I even talk to get a permit on a trail? It's not like there's an office you check in at. It's not like you go to the Appalachian Trail headquarters. They have one every 50 miles on the trail and you check in and fill out paperwork. It doesn't work that way. That's not how it's done. So this is going to be very interesting. I'm ranting and complaining about it because that's kind of where my head is at. And the fantastic rye whiskey in the cup here just makes the rant flow a little more free, a little fast and loose. But it is what it is. So we'll see. That said, I did want to say thank you to all of my new subscribers. I'm up somewhere around 340 of you. Again, I'm sure some of you are Russian bots. That's okay. I like the Russians. Not necessarily their politicians, but their bears and their women. My wife's out of earshot. I can make that bad joke. Anyway, so I also like their vodka, but we don't like Russia. Russia's bad and evil, right? So that joke's going to end there, and some of you are probably going to hate me. And that's okay. I can deal with that too. I have very, very thick skin if you haven't caught on. I really, nothing bothers me. But I'm going to wrap this up here. I think I titled this like a quick chat, and I'm at 25 minutes. And right now, like 3 people have popped in and out, and nobody's watching live, which is what I expected. It's a Friday night. I would hope at now 11 o'clock on a Friday night, most of you would have lives, um, and maybe just catch this on the replay. Plus, I'm also going to tag all the hikers I've mentioned, and who knows, maybe maybe their people will show up here and subscribe. I'm getting desperate. No, seriously though, serious note. I appreciate all my new subscribers, everybody who's watched a video, everybody who's watched more than one video. Some of you who have shared my videos, even if it's just my eating videos. I appreciate that too. The 2 things I do very, very well are eat and hike. I do have some cooking stuff coming up too. That's basically everything I'm going to throw at you on my YouTube channel is eating food, making food, and doing stuff outdoors. We've got some camping trips already booked, so I'll be sharing that stuff and some camping product reviews and whatnot too. All of that coming up in 2023. For now, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to update the description with all the stuff that really happened here tonight. Uh, and that's that. So, again, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Make sure you get your permits if you are filming anywhere in a national park. And until we see you again, happy trails.